Hello to all the viewers who've returned to Tutio's channel. Today we'll continue the emotional and intense story between Tutio and Uri. While Uri is doing his best to repair his relationship with Tutio, Linh, Tutio's cunning sister, unexpectedly shows up and starts causing trouble. Will Uri be able to step in and protect Tutio and their relationship in time? This story is more than just about love challenges. It's about a horrible secret that has been buried for years. Could this secret tear everything apart? Will Tutio and Uri be able to overcome the wounds of the past, or will they have to break up because of what happened before? Stay tuned for this thrilling and touching story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next developments in Tutio and Uri's story. Uri and Tutio's life was once peaceful and happy, but the conflict between their families due to a painful past has put their love to the test. Uri's mother and Tutio's mother have had unresolved issues for a long time. Once again, their families are clashing, and Tutio is suffering from memories that have been buried deep within her. Uri can't stand seeing his beloved endure this kind of pain. He feels helpless and doesn't know what to do to ease her sorrow. Although he can't change the past, he wants to do something for her to make her feel loved and comforted. An unexpected idea suddenly comes to Uri. He decides to step into the kitchen and bake a cake, a symbol of sweetness, care, and love. Though he's not a skilled chef, Uri hopes this cake will say everything he can't express with words. While lost in the kitchen, his thoughts are all about Tutio, hoping that this gift will help heal her pain and warm her heart. He chooses to make a simple yet elegant cake. He starts with egg yolks to create a soft base, adding a little flour and oil to achieve the perfect texture. He'll use the egg whites to make the cream topping, which will bring the cake together perfectly. Once the batter is ready, Uri pours it into a mold and puts it in the oven, remembering to poke a small hole in the center of the cake to allow air to escape and prevent deformation. When the cake is finished, Uri quickly takes it out and starts decorating. He spreads cream on top and decorates with fresh fruit to make it more appetizing. In his heart, there's only one wish: that Tutio will smile when she receives this gift and feel a little warmer. But what Uri doesn't expect is that while he's focused on Tutio's pain, even bigger storms are about to hit. Will this cake help soothe the pain in Tutio's heart? Or will things get worse as the family conflict intensifies? Linh, Tutio's older sister, was never happy with the relationship between Tutio and Uri. She was always jealous of her sister's love and could never accept Uri as Tutio's boyfriend. Linh knew that Tutio was dealing with major problems within her family, and she wasn't going to miss the chance to take advantage of this situation. With her sharp and ambitious nature, Linh saw this as the perfect opportunity to win Uri over. She started looking for ways to approach him, gradually invading the space between the two of them. She used every trick in the book to create distance between Tutio and Uri, even deliberately stirring up misunderstandings between them. Linh decided to visit Tutio's house. She knew that Tutio's mother had just left after a huge argument, and Tutio was feeling really down. Linh saw this as the ideal moment to put her plan into action. She didn't just want to increase the tension between Tutio and Uri. She wanted to steal Uri's heart by exploiting the difficulties in their relationship. When Linh arrived, she didn't hesitate to walk right in and start a conversation with Tutio. Linh spoke in a sarcastic tone, her sweet words laced with hidden meanings. She tried to provoke jealousy and pain in Tutio, making her feel even more confused. Linh knew that as soon as Tutio lost her calm, she would have the chance to wedge herself between them. She waited for the perfect moment when Tutio was already exhausted and hurt from her mother's departure. The conversation quickly turned tense. Linh began to mock Tutio, reopening old wounds from her family's past. She relentlessly pointed out Tutio's shortcomings, telling her that she couldn't change anything, that she was too weak and not worthy of Uri's love. Each word from Linh felt like a stab to Tutio's heart, making her want to leave, but she couldn't bring herself to do it. Linh didn't stop there. She wanted to make Tutio feel even more alone while trying to draw Uri to her side. Linh thought that if Tutio couldn't stand her ground, she'd be able to take Uri easily. But unexpectedly, Lin's interference caused reactions she hadn't planned for. Just as Linh was about to say more provoking words, the sound of footsteps from the door interrupted. Uri had come home, and he happened to overhear everything. He quickly sensed the tension in the air and felt confused. Despite not wanting to believe it, what Linh said was something he couldn't ignore. Uri realized that Linh was trying to take advantage of the situation to hurt Tutio, but he couldn't just ignore it. Seeing her plan fall apart, Linh quickly looked for a way to retreat. She couldn't let everything be exposed in front of Uri, so she hurriedly left, but not before. As Linh hurriedly left, the atmosphere in the house remained tense. Tutio, who was already dealing with the pain of her complicated relationship with her mother, couldn't help but feel hurt. It felt like everything was falling apart. The words Linh had said, though sarcastic, hit on the insecurities Tutio had always feared. She couldn't help but wonder if she had the strength to hold on to this love when family troubles kept piling up. Uri walked into the room, his eyes searching for Tutio, and immediately he sensed the tension in the air. Though he hadn't heard what had happened, the strain on Tutio's face said it all. He walked over to her, but didn't rush to ask about what had just happened. He sensed that Tutio needed a moment of space to calm down. Tutio looked up at Uri, her eyes red, but trying to smile. She didn't want to worry him more, but the sadness in her heart was hard to erase. "I'm fine," she whispered, but Uri could clearly see the exhaustion and pain in her eyes. He didn't say anything, just gently sat beside her and placed the cake he had prepared on the table. Uri looked at the cake, then at Tutio. He couldn't help but think about what had just happened. Linh had found a way to push her further away, leaving a wound in her heart. But even worse, Linh was complicating everything. Uri wanted to clear things up, but he knew he couldn't do it without hurting Tutio. "Don't worry about what Linh said." Uri spoke softly, his voice warm but serious. "I won't let anyone hurt you. You're the most important person to me." Tutio looked into Uri's eyes, the sincerity in his words, making her feel less alone. But the pain inside her wasn't just because of Linh. She was starting to realize that the family conflicts between her mother and Uri's, though not Uri's fault, were too big of a challenge for their love. "Uri, I don't know what to do." Tutio choked up. "My mom is so angry, and I can't make her forgive the past. Everything feels like a vicious cycle I can't escape." Uri looked at her, his eyes full of understanding. He couldn't change the past, but he could help Tutio get through it. He gently reached for her hand, giving it a soft squeeze. "We'll face everything together," he said. "I know it's not easy, but I'll always be here for you. My mom and your mom will have to understand each other, and we won't let the past get in the way of our love." Uri's words brought a little comfort to Tutio. But deep down, she couldn't shake the fear of wounds that might never heal. Could she and Uri really overcome the barriers created by their families? Or would everything crumble? These questions kept spinning in her mind, but right now she just wanted to be with Uri, no matter what the future held. They sat in silence for a moment, the only sound being the cake Uri had made a sign of new hope. They both knew life would never be easy, but at least they could face the challenges together. Uri stood up determined to do something to change the situation. He couldn't let Linh keep destroying their relationship, and he couldn't let their families continue hating each other. "Don't worry," he said, taking Tutio's hand once more. "I'll talk to my mom, and I'll do everything to fix this." Tutio looked at Uri, feeling a little more at ease. Though she wasn't sure how things would turn out, at least she knew she wasn't alone. As the tension continued, Tutio decided she couldn't keep hiding the truth from Uri any longer. She knew that even though the truth might hurt Uri's love, deserved to know everything, even if it could change everything. She was determined to reveal the secret she had kept hidden for so many years, because only then could she feel at peace. With eyes full of determination, but also anxiety, Tutio began to open up. She told Uri about her family's painful past and his family's involvement. Uri's mother, the one he had always loved and respected, had hurt her family deeply. She had interfered in her parents' business, causing their bankruptcy, and pursuing ruthless actions over the years. Because of this, Tutio had lost contact with her mother for a long time. When Uri heard this, he felt like his heart was being squeezed. He couldn't believe that his mother could do something so terrible. But the look in Tutio's eyes and the tone of her voice made it impossible for him to deny the truth. What she said, though, painful, was a truth he had to face. In that moment, Uri stood still, overwhelmed with disbelief. He couldn't understand how his mother could cause such immense pain. Yet he knew that the truth couldn't be changed, whether he wanted to accept it or not. Silence filled the room. Uri walked over to Tutio and placed his hand on her shoulder, his eyes filled with both pain and determination. He promised that he would not let his family hurt her, even though his family might never forgive what had happened. He committed to standing by her side, helping her face everything. Tutio looked at Uri, feeling the sincerity in his words. Yet in her heart, she was still full of doubt and worry. Could their love overcome such deep wounds? Could they heal the scars their families had caused together? Their relationship wouldn't be easy. The old wounds were still there, and they couldn't heal instantly. But in that moment, Tutio realized that at least she wasn't facing all of this alone. Uri would walk through these difficulties with her, and from that moment on, even though she knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, they walked together facing every challenge, hoping that love would be the bridge to help them overcome all obstacles and soar toward a better future.
Chào các bạn khán giả đã quay trở lại với kênh của Tutio. Hôm nay chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục câu chuyện về cảm xúc và kịch tính giữa Tutio và Uri. Trong khi Uri đang nỗ lực tìm cách thắp sáng tình cảm với Tutio, thì Linh, người chị gái mưu mô của Tutio, bất ngờ xuất hiện và tìm cách gây rối sự việc Uri. Có thể giải vây kịp thời để bảo vệ Tutio và mối quan hệ của họ không. Câu chuyện này không chỉ đơn giản là cái trách của tình yêu mà còn là một bí mật khủng khiếp đang bị chôn vùi suốt 3 năm qua. Bí mật này có thể phá vỡ tất cả. Liệu Tutio và Uri có thể vượt qua những vết thương quá khứ, hay họ sẽ phải chia tay vì những điều đã xảy ra trước đây, cùng theo dõi câu chuyện đầy kịch tính và cảm động này, đừng quên like và đăng ký kênh để không bỏ lỡ những diễn biến tiếp theo của Tutio và Uri. Cuộc sống của Uri và Tutio vốn dĩ đã rất hạnh phúc, nhưng mâu thuẫn giữa hai gia đình và thứ đau buồn đã khiến tình yêu của họ đối mặt với thử thách. Mẹ của Uri và mẹ Tutio đã có những xích mích không thể hòa giải từ lâu. Một lần nữa, gia đình của họ lại đối mặt và Tutio lại chịu nỗi đau từ những ký ức đã bị chôn vùi.